As you can probably tell by the title of the video, today I will be showing off all the discs that I carry with me while I play. I have my first PDGA tournament this Saturday. I'm recording this on a Tuesday, so my tournament is on Saturday. I have a couple days to prepare for it. I will be showing off discs that I'll be using in that tournament to succeed. For my actual bag, I have a Dynamic Discs Commander. It is big enough to carry all of my discs. This video is completely unsponsored, but that being said, looking out for sponsorships. Hopefully I shoot a good rating, and I'm good enough to get sponsored, so. On my bag, I'll start off with what I carry in my bag. On the side, I got a towel. This is used to sharpen your discs. I have never really used it, but it seems like a good thing to have if you have a gash in your disc. Then I have chalk, pretty basic. In this pocket, I carry my flashlight, and then I can put anything that I'm carrying with me in that pocket as well. Got a Sharpie up here, phone holder, mini disc carrier, 2 pockets up here. On this side, this side's my side that I have the flashlight in. The other side is just to carry my extra chalk bag, which I don't really need 2 chalk bags, but you never know when you might lose one or you might need another one. In these pockets, I carry my gloves as well as some extra towels. And in this pocket, I carry any extra discs I might be taking with me. Right now, I just have an extra putter in there. Next up, I'll talk about what putters I use for strictly putting. I putt with Pixels. This one's pretty beat up, as you can see. I've been using them for a while. They're both in the soft plastic, which I feel like I like softer, more gummier discs for putting. For my approach discs, which I carry right here, my favorite approach disc, which I use most often for throws and approach shots, is a Get Freaky Tour Series stamped disc, which is the Zone and Z-Flex confetti plastic. I love this disc for forehands and backhands, mostly forehands, because I know if I forehand on a little bit of hyzer, it will fully flip up and then fade reliably. Next is a disc I just started bagging as I wanted something that starts out a little bit more straight. It is the RPM Discs Kia. Now, I know RPM Discs isn't a very popular brand like Discraft, but this disc is very good for those shots that you just want to put straight and then have them fade. I would bag another Zone that's more stable, but I haven't been able to find one, so sticking with that for now. For my final approach disc, I have a soft Zone OS, and they're soft plastic. Obviously Zone OS. OS stands for overstable. Super overstable. I can put it on a cutting angle, fully turn out, or just chuck it at the ground, and it will stay right where I put it. Next up, I will show my throwing putters. Just have one. Not a big throwing putter guy. That being said, the Axiom Discs Envy is crazy. I mean, I love this thing. It has reliable flip up straight and then turn over, which is a great shot. I use this disc for any shots on backhand or forehand where I would throw a putter, because I feel I can get all of it done with just this. I don't throw putters that often when I did bag other putters, so for now I'm just bagging one. My mid-ranges, I currently bag 5 mid-ranges. I'll start from least stable to most stable for the rest of them. For my flippy slot, I have my fuse. I can get this thing to roll or hyzer flip, so I'll use it for both. If I'm throwing it on forehand, I'm either throwing it on about this much hyzer to get it to stay straight, or I'll throw it on a roller angle, and I find it's good for both. Where this disc specializes me is for backhand. On my backhand clip for this one, you can see I can throw it and it'll fly to straight and just keep pushing, which is why I like this disc so much. Next up, I have a Buzz with a 6 stamp. This stamp is a little like Discraft. All the players on their team got a signature on it. You know, if you're into cool looking stamps, this is a good one. Obviously, it's a Buzz. I mean, if you play disc golf at all, this is probably the most popular disc that isn't Innova made, or a Leopard, or a Shark. I can use this thing for forehand, put it on a little bit of hyzer. It'll go, reliably fade. Backhand, same thing. I mean, it's just a straight flying disc. Holds angles relatively well. I mean, just a disc that everybody wants to bag, you know. Next up, this one recently got added as well, but I found myself absolutely loving it. I have a EMAC Truth from Latitude. Pretty sure this is the only Latitude disc in my bag. They have some nice discs, but none are really getting represented right now besides this. I would use this differing if I wanted my disc to go straight and then fade, because I find that this has a way more reliable fade than the Buzz. So, again, forehand, mainly throw it flat. It'll just ride and then cut. And then backhand, same thing as well. My backhand is a lot worse as I have just been working on my lefty backhand recently. I used to be a righty backhand player, but I found that I can't throw a righty backhand and lefty forehand and, you know, really have a difference. So I've been working on that lefty backhand. Great disc for both, honestly. Next up in stability, this is probably the most unknown disc in my bag. Yukon discs, Yow. This is my only disc in the bag that I currently have an ace with, so pretty sick. I find that I was bagging 2 Rock 3s before I started using this disc, and found it replaces both of them. It flies relatively similar to a Rock 3, but I find that it's just a little bit more stable, which I do like. So I'll throw this thing on a little bit of hyzer on forehand, run over, fade back. Yeah, great disc. Can't say enough. Backhand, I'll throw it straight, it'll cut. Great disc. This is a Innova don't know what I was saying there. Innova Discs Gator. Again, I never heard of a Gator. Went into my local disc golf shop, bought it used. 6 stamp, USDGC double stamp. Again, Gators, if you never heard of them, they go straight and then they dump, which is a great shot to have, as I found myself needing that disc that can reliably go straight and then finish. I'll throw this thing on either some anhyzer, have it fade that way and then back out, or I'll just throw it straight and have it dump. I can throw it backhand or forehand. One of the most, like, one of the most reliable discs in my bag, I'll put it that way. You know, you can always trust on it. Next up, we got the fairway drivers. I found myself starting to throw fairway drivers way more recently than I used to. Within the last 3 months, I've started loving fairway drivers, for my backhand especially, but also on forehand. This disc, a lot of memories with this. One of the first few discs I ever bought. As you can see on that edge, it has been ran over by a car from when I first started playing. That being said, I mean, it's a roller disc, you know, you got to have a disc that you can roll. I find myself being able to hyzer flip it on backhand and get incredible distance, as well as throw it on forehand with a lot of hyzer and get that reliable turn and fade. Next up, we have a brand new disc to me. I actually got this from my friend Luke in a trade. Shout out Luke if you're watching this, which I know you are. It's a The flight numbers come in at -3-1 on the Sidewinder. I find it not to be as flippy as -3-1, but I'll leave that up to you to determine. I find it can go straight and then have a relatively soft but reliable finish, which I've been enjoying incredibly. Next up, I have a Paul Macbeth 6-claw Athena. I bought this off of somebody at my local league selling their discs. This is probably my best purchase in disc golf ever. I have found that this is probably my most used besides my putter and approach discs. Incredibly straight flyer with a reliable finish for forehand. And my backhand, this thing bombs on backhand. I got about I'd say at least 50 feet farther with this on backhand than any other disc in my bag, basically. This disc, I mean, wow, 7502, same flight numbers as that T-Bird, but this is just what I prefer, so why it's in the bag. Discraft Raptor. This Discraft Raptor is very flippy compared to most, I would say. I found myself getting it really beat in recently. I love this thing on forehand with a bit of hyzer. It'll flip out of it and then fade back reliably. That being said, I did get a new Raptor, which will probably be replacing, or I might bag both of them, as this one is getting a little bit too flippy for what disc I like to have in that slot. This disc can go on backhand for me as well. It is a little bit shallow for those backhands. Incredibly flat top, which is perfect for forehand. If you're throwing a forehand, those flat top discs, they're gonna be your friend. I have a first run Saki Bomb Felon. This disc might not get thrown a lot from me, but whenever I throw it, it's always a great time. One of the most overstable fairways I've ever seen. I found it being more overstable than a Captain's Raptor, which if you ever thrown that disc, thing's meaty. I wouldn't say I ever throw this thing on backhand unless I'm trying to go for a wide hook sky shot, but on forehand, I can get it to fly straight and then reliably turn over the whole time until it gets to its target, which is something that I might not use often, but when I need it, I'm glad that I have this disc in my bag. That's it for the fairways. It's time to get on to the fun part, the distance drivers. I bag 8 distance drivers, as distance drivers is a slot where you're probably going to have the most unique shot shaping with a wide variety of speeds and a lot of shots that you're going to need. First off, I have an Innova Gorgon. Again, relatively new created disc, but on forehand, pop it up a little bit of hyzer, it'll go straight forever. Backhand's where I'm really loving this disc. Put it on a little bit of hyzer, let it flip up and ride. The Innova Gorgon, one of the newer created discs, but definitely a disc that I found in a lot of people's bags that, it's kind of revolutionary for him. Next up, I have a Brody Smith Get Sneaky stamped Vulture. The Vulture I mainly throw on backhand, as I found one of the backhand discs I can get to go pretty far for me. I love it on forehand too. Again, straight flyer, fades over. I think I've said that about 18 times today, but that's the shot that you're gonna like to rely on, those straight shots with a nice finish. Streamlined Discs Jet. This disc I've had a love-hate relationship with, I must say, because before I threw my lefty backhand, for those shots that I would now throw that on, I would rely on a turnover shot on my forehand, which some days I absolutely love throwing that shot. I feel like I could throw that shot 100% of the time. And then other days, it would go terribly for me. It would either not turn over all the way or I'd throw a roller. That's why I've been loving my lefty backhand. This disc, I haven't been throwing as much recently since I don't need that turnover shot, but still a great disc for my backhand. I feel like on backhand, I can bomb with this thing. -3, so it's very flippy. I'll throw it on a little bit of hyzer, turn it out, fade back. Very, very reliable disc for my backhand. Next up, I have a Halo Wraith. This disc, again, it's pretty flippy, this one in specific. I'll put it on a little bit of hyzer, let it turn over, fade back. Not as flippy as the Jet, but still has a slot in my bag. I mainly throw this disc on forehand, but I can throw it on backhand as well. Once I get into these 12 speeds specifically, These two, my backhand starts to deteriorate a little bit, but we'll get into those later. The Dynamic Discs Trespass. This is a disc that I've had friends that have absolutely loved this thing. Unfortunately, it has been lost to the trees, but you know, it served its purpose while it was there. This disc, can't believe I'm about to say this, a little bit flippy, goes straight, reliable finish. I have recently started bagging this disc, and I have found that for those straight shots, I've been going to this for my forehands. So I plan on throwing this a lot at the tournament coming up. I have played a practice round there, which unfortunately I forgot to bring my tripod to, so I don't have any shots from there. A little bit of regret from there, but I will try to record the tournament. I don't know if I will be able to because of pressure of recording and trying to play a tournament, but we'll see when that happens. Was it really going to be an in the bag from a forehand based player without an end of a destroyer? This is the Calvin 2025 stamped one. I found this one to have a very sharp finish compared to the stock Star Plastic ones. A little bit flippy at the start. I absolutely bomb with this thing. I haven't been throwing it as much as recently because I've found that this one is really overstable. So this one is one that I'm going to more for some shots that I need to finish. Probably my most thrown forehand distance driver. DGA, a company that doesn't get a lot of recognition, but their discs are absolutely amazing. The Hurricane is one that I find I can throw straight and finish, or I could throw in a little bit of Anheuser and get a ridiculous amount of distance from, as it'll just keep holding the angle and then start turning over, getting me that S-curve, which is the most efficient way to get distance. Yeah, this disc is a workhorse. I would never find myself throwing either of these on backhand unless I needed a really sharp turn. But for forehand, absolutely amazing discs. Leading me into the final one, the Strike. I had an orange Strike, but I lost it. That is the disc that I regret losing probably the most. Used to throw that thing all the time. This one's actually off eBay, so it came in a little bit beat in. Still like the disc for those flippy shots that you still need to finish. The Strike can absolutely bomb. I think I got the most distance on this on forehand, which I was a little bit surprised at. But yeah, I mean, great disc. I don't find myself reaching for it that much, if ever, but I know if I need a shot to go extremely far, I can rely on this disc. So that's why it's in the bag. This is something I found very interesting and actually didn't know the answer to before I recorded this video, but I bagged the most Innova discs with 7, then Discraft with 6, Axiom coming in with 3, Lat 64 coming in with 2, Streamline with 1, Yukon with 1, Dynamic Discs with 2, DGA with 1, and RPM Discs with 1. I also found interesting that I bagged 24 discs, with 2 of them being putting putters, 3 of them being approach discs, 1 a throwing putter, 5 mid-ranges, 5 fairways, and 8 distance drivers.